Well, that didn't take long, did it? Gaetz just announced out of the blue this morning on X. By the way, follow me on X. I'm at Professor Nez everywhere, but I post primarily on X because I can't post anywhere else. It's literally the last bastion of free speech. I'm at Professor Nez. Link in the show notes and description. Everybody was shocked. I was shocked. I thought he was a stalwart, a sort of brazen trailblazer. He had conviction. He was strong. He was young. He was ambitious. I liked him a lot. It came as a huge shock. We went live this morning to talk about it. He's out. He's gone. Apparently, he didn't have the support of a lot of rhinos like Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, and a lot of other kind of mainstay kind of swamp vermin, if you will. But President Trump didn't skip a beat. And he just announced very shortly ago that he's going with Pam Bondi, tough 18-year prosecutor. She's tough on crime. She's tough on a lot of things. She's a 2-term Florida attorney general. She has a really, really strong record on drug enforcement and opioid issues. She's a total hawk on immigration. Politically, she's actually very, very supportive of Trump, and I think she's going to adhere to his policy. And she's definitely going to be on board with the mandate that was set on November 5th by you and by me. I'll talk about the hat in just a second. I know what you're thinking. I can read your mind. The hat's beautiful. The hat is terrific. Quite frankly, Professor Nez, there's nobody like him. He always gives me the greatest merchandise. It's 100% made in the USA. It's original. He's not a nasty person like Kamala or Trende Aragua or Crooked Sleepy Joe. I love Professor Nez. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. Thank you so much. She's widely admired by Republicans across the country. I'm going to share with you some amazing clips that I think really exemplify that even further. But first, I want to talk about this. This is live breaking news that we just got. Democrat Bob Casey has officially conceded. This is amazing news. The race for Senate in Pennsylvania to Dave McCormick. I have a feeling it had a lot to do with Scott Presler. This guy is absolutely phenomenal. If you checked out our live earlier this morning, I shared a clip of him giving it to that councilwoman, Diane Maseglia, or whatever the heck her name was, who says, we're not going to follow the law. We're going to be counting illegal, unfounded ballots. Check out this amazing video. My fellow Americans, we stopped the steal.
McCormick to congratulate him on his election to represent Pennsylvania in the United States Senate. As the first count of ballots is completed, Pennsylvanians can move forward with the knowledge that their voices were heard, whether their vote was the first to be counted or the last. This race was one of the closest in our Commonwealth's history, decided by less than 1/4 of a point. I'm grateful to the thousands of people who worked to make sure that every eligible vote cast could be counted, including election officials in all 67 counties. When a Pennsylvanian takes the time to cast a legal vote, often waiting in long lines and taking time away from their work and family, they deserve to know that their vote will count. That's democracy.
Boy, that guy really reeks of authenticity, doesn't he? I mean, haven't these Democrats, learned a thing about why they got absolutely decimated on November 5th? They lost everything. They lost the House, the Senate, the executive branch, the bicameral legislature. You guys don't get it. This fake automaton reading off the teleprompter, having zero soul, it just doesn't work. We're not buying it anymore. You don't mean a word of what you say. You are complete hypocrites, and you just do all of the nefarious things. Stab me in the front, as I've said a million times. Don't stab me in the back. Stab me in the front so I can look in your eyes. If you're gonna be a traitor, if you're gonna be a heathen, if you're gonna be vermin, at least do it to my face. Okay, so we're gonna get to Pam Bondi and a little bit about her, and again, more kind of video footage. I wanted to share this by J.D. Vance because I love J.D. The more I find out about him, especially, I can't tell you guys enough, you need to listen to that episode of him with Joe Rogan on that podcast. It was just amazing. Even my wife, who I think is the greatest judge of character on planet Earth, obvious reasons, he really came across so likable, so down to earth, articulate, intelligent. He just posted this on X saying about Matt Gaetz. He says, I'm extremely grateful for the work Matt put into the nomination process, he made his decision to withdraw entirely out of respect for President Trump's administration. Matt is a patriot, and I look forward to seeing what he does next. Always a gentleman and a scholar. Fantastic stuff by J.D. Vance there. Again, I think that, you got to see what I say about Matt Gaetz dropping out. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he was caught red-handed with something wholly would have got him in a bunch of trouble, maybe even incriminating stuff, because the way that he dropped out just seemed a little too skeptical and just had a lot of question marks around it. But I'd love to get your thoughts on that if you didn't see that. Let me know why you think Gaetz dropped out. Speaking of Gaetz, he did respond to President Trump nominating Pam Bondi. He said in this post very recently, he said, Pam Bondi is a stellar selection by President Trump for Attorney General. Pam and I worked closely together when she was Florida's Attorney General, and I chaired criminal justice in the State House. She's a proven litigator, an inspiring leader, and a champion for all Americans. She will bring the needed reforms to the DOJ. So she got the seal of approval from the previous nomination in Matt Gaetz, and I think that's great. Okay, I'm going to play you a real quick video that I think really demonstrates her toughness and her panache. And then I'm going to share with you a video of the left completely melting down. And then Scott Jennings, we both love him from CNN. The only reason to ever watch CNN is Scott Jennings. He kind of echoes what I said earlier in the live, that the dropout, the withdrawal of Matt Gaetz might be a blessing in disguise. And I think he does a really, really great job of backing that up with substance. So stick around for that. But first, watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, meet your new Attorney General. Listen to this.
These criminals made one very big mistake. They wound up in Polk County. And I'll tell you, it's bad enough in one thing to profit from poisoning others, but it's another when you bring drugs from Mexico into our country, California, Texas, Georgia, and end up in our state and do it with impunity. Because when you're in this country illegally, and you're doing things illegally, I want to tell you, and you wind up in Polk County, Grady Judd is going to find you, the DEA is going to help them, and my statewide prosecutors are going to lock you up for as long as we can.
And we're going to enjoy it.
And each of these defendants are looking at 30 years in Florida State Prison for conspiracy to traffic drugs.
Well, tickle me pink. I am so impressed with that. She has the kind of guts, the kind of balls, no pun intended, and grit that we need, especially. She might just be the perfect pick. Trump, this is why we picked him. Trump knows, quite frankly, probably this is why everybody loves Trump, because I always have the best judge of character. I pick the best people. I pick the people who can do the job. Quite frankly, I always do, because I do a beautiful job. This is not China. Mr. President, I think this is a perfect pick given the context, specifically around the worst border crisis in the history of our country. She's from Florida. She's vehement against illegal immigration. She's an 18-year tough prosecutor, and she gets in your face like that. This could be the perfect pick. I want to get your thoughts, though. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't take my word for it, though. Watch the left completely melt down on MSDNC.
Pam Bondi is exactly what I was saying in the last segment that we should all fear, because she's competent. We may not agree with her ideologically, but she actually knows how to do this job. So if anyone on the Democratic side or anyone who cared about liberty or justice was thinking, well, maybe Matt Gaetz will screw this up and that'll give us some time. No, Pam Bondi knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing about immigration. Remember, Florida is one of those states that's been very aggressive about migrants and deportation and moving people to different states and everything else like that. Florida has enacted all sorts of rules and laws to curtail students and what they can do on campuses and finding legal justifications for manipulating education money. She is a dangerous and effective pick, and that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
She's actually competent? Holy, it's like it's a shock to them. Somebody who actually knows how to do their job. the direct antithesis to DEI. Who would have thunk it? It's a miracle. Somebody who actually is qualified. I mean, call me crazy. That's nuts. In this day and age, can you imagine 20 years ago, if somebody would have told you in 2024, somebody who's actually qualified and competent for a job would come as a huge splash, a big shock to the system. Okay, now watch Scott Jennings, who I think does an amazing job to counterpoint any kind of criticism that Pam Bondi gets and why he thinks she's better than Matt Gaetz. Watch this.
It's just a confirmation that would essentially sail through Scott or not.
Well, I don't think you could consider anybody, just they're going to sail without any kind of real process. She's going to have to go through a process like everybody else. But I can tell you, this is a massive upgrade. I've talked to a couple people up on the Hill already. There's a sigh of relief that now we have somebody here, two-term AG, strong record on drug enforcement and opioid issues, a total hawk on immigration, politically supportive of Trump, obviously. I don't know a Republican in the country who doesn't love Pam Bondi. So you were starting with Gaetz, a nominee who was underwater significantly to start and was going to always be hard to get to the surface. With Bondi, I do think you're starting above water, and as long as she performs in her hearings, and look, this is somebody who's been through 2 elections in a really big state, and so a lot of public vetting of her has gone on already. So I think this is a great move by Trump to be pragmatic and tell Gaetz to get out, and a really good move to go with Bondi. This is not a shaky limb. This is a sturdy branch he's going with for AG here.
I love it. I love it. We're so back. We are so back, America. Everything happens for a reason. God is in control. We are so back. This was meant to be. Pam Bondi is going to kick some serious... That's what she's going to do. And I am on board 100%. Who knows? Maybe Gaetz can serve in another matter. He's still super, super young. The guy's only like 42 or something. He's a baby, at least compared to me and maybe even compared to you. I remember when I used to think 42 was old. My God, I would give my left to be 42 again. That's for sure. But he's amazing. He's got a long-standing career. I actually thought Hawley would have been an amazing pick, but we want him where he is. He's doing a great job fighting for justice and other avenues. But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. And by the way, if you want to get this amazing hat and other amazing original made in the USA merch, you can click on the link in the pinned comment or in the show notes and in the description of this video. And you'll see it's kind of like a link tree. You can click on that and then click on the option for original Nez Nation merchandise, and you'll go to our shop. 100% original designed. Christmas is coming up. I mean, this thing is amazing. I absolutely love it. This is a snapback hat right here, but it is absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. We are so back. We are so back. I absolutely love this hat, but we got mugs. We got hats, we got hoodies, we got shirts, we got baby onesies, we've got every stickers, buttons, you name it, we got it all. So go check that out. You can also just go to professornez.myspreadshop.com if you want to go check that out. So if you're interested, definitely go check that out. I love this stuff. I'm going to be giving everybody in my family who actually, loves our country some really cool original merch. I'm also going to be doing a lot of giveaways too. So go check that out. But definitely leave me a comment, tap the thumbs up, because we want this video to get pushed out to more people. Not for me, because when you tap the thumbs up, which takes you less than a nanosecond and it's free, it signals to the algorithm that we need these videos to go out to more people. So please do that right now. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. I just posted this today. Tap my face right there to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. As always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA. See you soon.